Hello everyone, welcome back to our tutorial videos. And as you can remember in our first introduction videos, one of our main features is onboarding. And onboarding helps out with kind of having these user profiles once they join the texting system, and on their end they're now part of the Evant texting system where they can RSVP, get notifications, get updates, do text to donate, and all the good stuff. So to set it up, essentially what you'd be doing is going to settings over here. So go to settings, and in the settings tab we have onboarding. And in the onboarding, you see this like a sample of what I have, but let me just kind of delete it so we can kind of walk through how one may do it in the beginning. So this is how your onboarding tab may look like if you have not yet set it up. And essentially, this way of onboarding is when the user, when one of your community members or one of the invitees is gonna text to get onto the system, right? Yes, it is true that you can go to our users tab and bulk add them through your existing roster of participants through CSV or single add, but this way is the way they're gonna get added through texting the 10-digit number themselves. So the first step is to make sure to make the first question multiple choice. You'll see why. The reason why is because they're going to be texting a certain keyword to get added in, right? So let's say we'll say welcome. Please text join to So this is an example of what you can do. You can do end choice text. So if they text join, that's how they're gonna get text added in to the system, right? The next thing is, and this is imperative, is to ask for their full name, right? Because in order for the system to actually make a profile, the one thing that they need is a full name. So say do it. So what is full name? Okay, so once they text their full name on your event dashboard, you're going to have their new customer profile with their full name. And then the other requirement is to have them confirm and add, right? And the confirm and add to org is when they're actually going to be confirmed and added into your system. So these are just the main things that you need. Go into more details of other extras that you can do later, but you can have it like this. So once they text join, once they text their full name, now they can officially be added. You say, congrats, you are now okay. So these are the main things that you need, right? Multiple choice to have the trigger word, then you need to ask for their full name and then confirm the add to make them a profile. But we can walk through some of the other stuff that you can do, some extras. So anything that's open-ended, right? This option for question flow is just whatever you ask them is going to be just logged into your platform, to your system, just as a note. So you can ask them like something more open-ended. It doesn't have to be an exact answer. Multiple choice is what we saw over here. This is more like anything that you're giving them option to answer, and if they don't answer, and based on their answer, you can have different flows, right? Okay. Another one is end flow. End flow is if they answered a specific response and you want them to stop and then flows. Like back during COVID, if someone said, if you asked a multiple choice question, do you have COVID, yes or no? Someone said yes, you'd want to end flow there because you don't want them at the event. full name. You can also do first name and last name, and we'll add it together. The system automatically adds it together. Email system verifies the email if you want to get their email. Image, let's say if you want to ask them for their ID or certain types of other. If you want a profile icon, you can ask them for an image. They can upload images. Group creating is pretty interesting now. If you ask them a certain question, and based on the response, if that response isn't there yet and you want to make that into a group, you can create groups. So let's say if you're asking people what major they're a part of, and if they put in a major that they didn't they did that's not on the system yet, you can make a new group for it. Confirm to add to group is what we went through over here. It's when you confirm their registration and add them to the group as well. Yeah, and here too, um, adding to group is imperative as well, as you can kind of say, hey, I'm gonna add them to group, and you can kind of make any group you want. If there are new attendees, you can add them into a new attendee group, and you can just make the group all different types of group here. So that's gonna be completely personalized to you. So based on someone's response, you can add them to a certain group for your own well keeping. And if you have here, you see this button called the key name. Let's say we make another question image. Please attach image of your ID. And essentially what this key name button does is where you set the name for the category. So it's only for your own internal purpose and your own system. Let's say if you export all the data, it'll be, instead of being called image, it'll be called ID photo. So that's something that you have internally. Okay, so that's pretty much it on the onboarding. Let's say the main thing after you have this all set up, before you get it rolling out to, your users, just test it out yourself, see if it works, see if you're happy with it. And that concludes our onboarding. Hope it helps. And as always, let us know if you have any other questions, comments, or concerns. Thank you.